Hey guys, it's your boy Island Heat here, and I am doing a video on Baseball Superstars 2021. And I personally really love this game. Huge fan of baseball. Played it for a good portion of my life, and still watch it now. Hopefully, they'll figure out a way to improve the game so we can watch it more. But for right now, I'm really enjoying Gameville and what they do with this series. So yeah, I'm just sort of helping everybody get started on Baseball Superstars 2021. Hopefully, give you guys some good rules on what to do to get started, and just kind of go from there. So yeah, you guys will notice here, this is my account. And that's the lovely Leone. Now, the way this game is played is you produce characters here under develop. And so in the develop portion of the game, you get to create your players using a variety of methods. When you get started, Gameville Superstars will be the first one that guides you through the tutorial, help you produce your first player there. Um, you'll grow out of it pretty fast. It doesn't have a bunch of the best bonuses that you'd want your players to have as you produce characters, but it'll help you get started, give you an idea of sort of the layout of the game. And from there, what you do inside your each game mode is once you go into the actual game mode itself, you'll choose the position of the character that you want to play. In which case, third baseman here. Let me go ahead and we'll hit random. His name will be Johnson. And this is the crux of the game right here. You will have a variety of coaches to send this player into creation mode with, and these coaches will help you develop your player. So with your coaches here, when you go into them, you'll be able to see under deck skill here the variety of skills your player will be able to learn. And with these skills, this is going to help determine how powerful your player is going to be. Obviously, on my account, I have a bunch of ultra rare trainers at max levels here. So, this is not a really good idea of where you're going to be to get the game started. Usually, to get the game started, you're going to wind up at around here with the rare trainers, the blue trainers right down here, or even some of the purple trainers right here. Depending on when you get started, like holiday season, they handed out a bunch of really cool stuff. They'll give you a few certificates to summon some SSR trainers right down here. And so what you're trying to do is you're just trying to assemble the with the characters that you have, the trainers that you have, the best coaches that'll allow your player to develop the best. And so as you develop each player, your player then gets ranked based off of the skills that they've learned and the overall stats that they've accrued in their training. So if I go to manage my players here and I were to go to my current third baseman, we have, here we are. You'll notice here that for this particular player, his highest stat is his mental aspect at 5,459. It shows you the special gear that he acquired during the game itself, during the process of the creation itself. Each creation normally takes 7 weeks, and you'll be able to lengthen that a little bit with some of the items you can use when you create your player. And then under their stats, each stat is responsible for something on your character. Like for instance, strength right here. Strength is responsible for helping your player hit home runs. It's responsible for helping your player, hit the ball much easier. And so, yeah, dexterity is good for movement, speed, and catching. So depending on how your player develops, you'll quickly realize whether or not they're a good offensive player, a good defensive player, a good all-around player. Under the skill here, the coach that they vibe with the most, right? So as you go through the progression of creating your character, at around week 5, the game will pair your player up with one specific trainer, and that's going to be the trainer that they kind of vibe with the most, right? That they have the best rapport with. And once they do that, that player will put you through a special training, which will then give you your super skill. And that super skill is your home run hit. This is the skill that's going to allow you to uh, give you the best option of getting the best home run, the best hit, the most powerful thing your character can do. And there's another method to level that up till it's a level 5, like where I have Valiant March at, that we'll go through as we progress as well. And then here under info, you're going to be able to see my players' cold zones, hot zones, basically where they hit the best, where they don't hit the best, and then the trainers that we use to make this player. From here, you'll notice that he is an R4 character, so that's pretty high up there. It's not the highest. I think M is the current highest that you can get to. But if you scroll down, you'll notice that as far as all my characters are concerned, I have a C character right here. It's a pitcher. And if I were to go into that, you'll notice that under the summary, the stats are not nearly as high as an R character. Their overall stats and attributes are down as well. Their skill still level 5 though, because he's still partnered up with a level 5 trainer. So he partnered up with who's Wild Sling? I think that's Leone. So he still managed to pair up with her, and she gave him her level 5 skill. So for 3 pitches, even though that's a C4 player, he's going to have a pretty wicked pitch. But other than that, his stats will be much lower than an R4 character, and that's why you wouldn't necessarily pair up and try to beat a R level team with a C level team. All right. And so the way you would go about acquiring more trainers is here under the recruit area right here. And so under the recruit area, you have the ability to recruit any one of these specific trainers if that's somebody that you wanted to get for your team, or you go through a generic premium recruit where you can just the game will randomly recruit, and if you do get an ultra rare, that ultra rare will be any ultra rare character that you might want. Um, for the most part, I like to focus my resources, so I would normally choose to try to get an actual trainer that I want. Bastet's a really good one to pick up. Um, or like for instance Violet, I could level her up. So if I were to do a recruit here, we'll do a quick 10 recruit here, and you'll see the game go through its summon mechanic, and from here it's gonna show me what I acquired, and then you hit view, and you'll notice here that for me, a lot of rare trainers and some of the purple trainers right there. And yeah, I probably won't use any of these guys because of where I am with the game. But it still doesn't change the fact that, for anybody getting started, any one of these trainers would help make your characters better. Maybe it's because I spent some money on the game that I just skipped all the blue trainers to begin with. But, I mainly started off with purple and red trainers. So a lot of that was also getting lucky. I got started, I think, a month after the game was released. And so during that month that the game was released, I was able to acquire a lot of easy get started items, and so Gameville was really nice about doing that. You'll notice here after a certain amount of summonings, the game will actually just give you an SSR recruit, and so. Part of why I make sure that I summon only when I have these 10+1 tickets is that it helps level up this meter right here, the guaranteed meter, much quicker. And so after 35 summons, you will be guaranteed a super rare trainer, and you'll notice here on the ultra rare side, another 97 recruits, and I'll get an ultra rare trainer that will be Violet because I'll be summoning using that block. If I was actually summoning with Pluto, then that ultra rare would become Pluto. I unfortunately have Pluto already maxed. I have Bastet maxed out, so Violet would be the only one I would really want to pick up in this current group of people. So let's go ahead and see what that super rare trainer winds up being. All right. And anytime you see the yellow ball, that's usually a good thing. That yellow ball will usually mean that you summoned your SSR right there at the start. Boomiger. He's a great pitcher, great starting pitcher to get started. And if I didn't already have him leveled up, then under my trainers here, under my super, super rare trainers, you'd be able to find Boomiger all maxed out. You'll notice here different support skills. These support skills were added, and they help. They give you permanent effects to the actual player itself. For this case, the upgrade support skill would make your pitcher's speed and stamina much higher once you activate it during training. All right, and so basic mechanics of the game would be recruiting, your trainers. Outside of recruiting your trainers, it's also going to be developing your players here under develop mode. I spent a lot of time going through the challenges, and I finished all of the challenges. Each challenge will give you different parameters on what you need to do to develop that player at a insert rating, and at some point you will get an ultra rare trainer ticket. And so I made sure to take advantage of this for every single level that existed. And from there, once you're kind of started in the game, they give you really cool play modes. Like right now, you have Galaxy Cup. This makes it so that way you would play the game using 5 players you would develop under the Zenonia Knights scenario, and it kind of just adds a little bit of flavor to the game. I think 90% of my players right now have all been developed using the Summoner's War scenario here. Part of the reason why is the mechanic I think is incredibly, incredibly good for developing players, and also I play Summoner's War a lot. If you subscribe and like my channel, you'll see some Summoner's War content on there. I've been playing that game for about 7 years, so maybe I'm a bit of a homer as well. But I know that Forest Elves, if you have the right trainers, can produce amazing pitchers. I think a lot of the top players produce their triple R and M pitchers from the Forest Elf scenario. And yeah, I like Mystic Unicorns a ton. I think it's a ton of fun, but this one is high risk and high reward because you could easily not get any of the stats that you need to make your character powerful here. But you also could go on a really good run and wind up with an awesome character as well. River City High. This one used to be the scenario to get all of your players up and running. This was the scenario that was released when the game was first got started, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it as well. I just think that the mechanic hasn't quite kept up with Forest Elves and Summoner's War. All right. Tips and tricks would be just to go at your own speed, unless you're prepared to put some money into the game. Just let what you recruit help you get an idea of where to get started. Beat the challenges as you go through the scenarios. Get those ultra rare tickets there, and yeah, just be a little bit patient. The game does a really good job of kind of giving you a few things to try to target to level up, and yeah, from there, just as the recruiting goes along, you'll start to see which trainers you get tickets for because everything is random, like in any gacha game. And so with the trainers that you get, you'll be able to fine tune where to put your 10+1 recruiting coupons to good use. All right, so from here, I'm going to go ahead and I will produce more specific content to, in other videos to come. I have another device getting up and running that I'll be doing completely brand new playthroughs on, just to help anybody else get started, kind of see what a good, efficient start to a lot of these games would be. And yeah, yeah, stay tuned in, stay subscribed, and I'll produce more content here for Baseball Superstars 2021. Try to put up at least 2 videos a week. All right. So yeah, hopefully you guys will hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. All right.